Welcome, viewers, to another chaotic video. But it's been a couple days since I've actually done. Well, my hair doesn't look any better than it has. Sorry. It's been a very chaotic weekend. However, if Chris can change to the Canon, the oops.
That was not playing.
It's all right. We learn as we go. Okay, so as you can see, all three systems have been put in cases. I'm not a big thermal take case person, but this was the case that was readily available. It's a thermal take Versa H15. The cooler and everything fits perfect inside the little bubble that the case has on it. So everything is done. We did run into a problem with one of the DDR4s in the workstation 2. This is workstation 1. 3 and 2 are set up. I'm expecting an Amazon delivery, same day delivery anytime now, so the dogs may get riled up and barking, and I apologize in advance for that if that happens. But we're expecting a shipment for that. But what I wanted to do was basically run through the same procedure we did with the refurbished PC, but this one is actually setting it up for the client, and I will be installing all three of these tomorrow. So if Chris can switch to the capture card, and we are installing Windows 10 21H1. And I'll do a video on creating this media. Maybe I'll do a one tomorrow about that, how to actually create this media. But so the one thing I wanted to do, and you'll see it on the screen, but I want to actually check that the BIOS actually comes up and sees the 16 gig of RAM, because we were popping stuff in and out of this box. And yes, it does show 16 gig of RAM, and it does show the M2, the NVMe drive, is a 512 gig. I can't see it from over there. Actually, it's right in front of me. 512 gig NVMe. All right, so we're going to go ahead and shut that down. The one thing with this case, Chris, can you go back to the Canon camera? The one thing with this case is it does have a little bit of cable management, but since all I was running was the 24-pin power supply for the motherboard and the 8-pin CPU power connector, there's not a spot that this 8-pin connector can go behind that works without taking the motherboard out and putting the cable through and back in. So there's only the two power cables that run up. There are a handful of cables all neatly put together, and they are stuck down in here. They don't interfere with the case. And then we have a USB 3.2, power, reset, hard drive light and power light, USB connector, and front panel audio connections. So this case works for this. Again, my the build rig that I have, everything's channeled down the side. Nice cable management. I consider this clean also, just not as pretty as the other ones. So since this works, we're going to switch back where I just had Chris at the this is the machine that I actually built on the box. It was the first one I did. I did it as a live stream, and you guys watched. So this had an OS on it, and I did wipe out that OS, and we're doing it again. And this will actually be the full ready to go install when I deliver the machine tomorrow. So we pick English, English, and US. Install now. I don't have a product key. Windows 10 Pro. I accept the license. Ethernet is unplugged. And again, I keep it unplugged so that I can create an offline profile. And that's more for Windows 10 Home. But I get in a habit of doing that with all of them. That way I can turn off settings and change settings prior to actually connecting to Ethernet and setting some parameters. So we're going to pick the whole unpartitioned space, and we're going to let Windows do its thing. So we have reached 270 subscribers. It's painful, but we are proceeding forward slowly. So if you're here viewing this and you find this video helpful, please click on the like button and subscribe. And I'm trying to do content on a semi-daily basis, if not daily. And we're going to do our best to keep that up. We have my son, Christian. Maybe. There we go.
Yes,
And, you know, someday I'm going to do something that's not a tube of wire ties by Commercial Electric. Not a sponsor. This machine is very fast. It actually installs the other two machines installed really quick. And as I go through the programs that I install as a default and settings that I set, you know, feel free to utilize any of the stuff that you learn from this video. And I'll explain to you why that I do it. How many viewers?
3.
3. Okay. Anybody I know?
No one said anything.
Nobody has said anything. Okay. But I'm sure they can hear us. Well, I'm guessing they can hear us.
One of them's me.
Okay. So, hello, everybody that has joined. I'm hoping that, well, it doesn't help that I posted this on Facebook and I actually put 9 p.m. And then 10 minutes prior, went in and did an edit on both posts and changed that to 8 p.m. Chris, hand me one of the cards over there. It's sort of behind that keyboard, under that paper. Slide the keyboard toward you if you have to. We're really organized today. I had a bunch of them over there.
No one's saying it.
Neatly lift up that pile. Did I put them over there? Ah. No, and they're not on a sheet.
I mean, there's a ripped out one.
Okay, United States English. All right, this one actually got stuck in the printer. So it's a bad card, but I created cards. I'm actually going to put a vinyl decal, just like this, on the back window of my work van. Because I still keep hearing people tell me that they subscribe, but I don't think they're subscribing. And then you can follow me on Facebook under Scott Pysik and Pysik Technologies. All right. Sorry for the ripped one. I have a bunch of them upstairs, but it wouldn't look good if I walked upstairs to grab one. Skip the extra layout. I don't have Ethernet. Continue with limited setup. All right. Oh, I cannot type. Okay, so all my images are set up with the username admin user. I do change them when they go on location, so I'm not quite sure what names these are going to get. So we'll start off with that. I'll set up a password actually on location also. I turn off everything. Oh, somebody said hello. That would be your mother.
Everyone probably set their alarms for 9 o'clock.
Well, they can watch it, unfortunately. Record it at that point.
That's also, I don't think it takes an hour to install Windows.
No. Actually, I'm not just installing Windows. I'll be installing a couple other tools. It's the first time in a while that we broke the Canon out of the case to use it. We've been using the face cam, but I got to find a little tripod for it. The cable wants to pull the camera up. The cable is very stiff.
Best Buy or Staples.
But I need something that I can actually wire tie it to so that it doesn't pull it up to the ceiling. It doesn't pull it to the left or actually pull it on the floor. I've dropped it several times. All right, I do a get started. I know there's no internet. I'm going to tell it the complete setup, and then actually I don't want to sign in any accounts. So we will close that. This client will be using Outlook, so we unpin the mail and the store from the desktop. Client doesn't want users installing tools. I also turn off the Cortana button and turn off the news and icon. Right click, open network and internet settings, change adapter options, properties. I do disable or turn off IPv6. Then I go under network and sharing, change advanced settings. Under private, I do turn off automatic setup of network connected devices. And again, if you're doing this for yourself or setting up a computer for somebody and you have a ton of network connected devices, light bulbs, TVs, Xbox, Switch, you name it, if that is turned on and you connect this computer to your network, when this computer goes home, there will be a bunch of devices underneath that list. So turn that off. And the other thing we want to do is set the time, adjust date and time, and set the time zone. There we go. Eastern U.S. and Canada. Chris, did you notice if I clicked on save settings for save changes? Yes, I did. Okay. So now we're at that point where we can actually plug in our Ethernet connection. So Yes, it will do that for my network. That's fine. I'm going to connect to a NAS device later and pull client information. So I do want that turned on. All right, by default, I usually put that down on the right and out of the way. We're going to let it pick up whatever devices it finds on its own. How many we got now? 4. Hello and welcome. And we are in the process of installing Windows 10 21H1, which is the second half of 2021. I believe the next one comes out in April.
I think someone wants to be on the camera.
My dog is all sprawled out on the couch. She's the one that had the hood over her head. Her stitches have all been removed. No more hood. Back to her crazy self. And you can't really see her. Okay. Video driver has installed. Our icons have now shrunk. So we'll drag that further out of the way. Okay.
Mom said everyone's being shy.
They may all be on their cell phones where they can't actually.
You can type on your phone.
Not a lot of people know how.
You just, if you're on your cell phone, it just says live chat and next to like the dislike button.
You can show them on your phone if you like.
After that, then I will clear my bladder.
That's nice. I'm sure everybody wants to know that.
Okay, well, it's the only way I can put it without it being like. No.
All right, Chris is dragging that. If there's anybody on that's not familiar with how to chat from your phone, Chris is going to.
Just says live chat next to the dislike button.
Live chat
You
next
press
to the
it.
dislike button.
You press it and then you.
All right, so you learn a lot from us. Not as much as I'd like for everybody to learn, but we're gonna start getting into better content. Like I said, we're going to show everyone how to create this media, and we're going to be doing an upgrade where I'm upgrading a last of my clients from Windows 7 to Windows 10. We cannot go to Windows 11 just because of the configuration of this environment, but it's a couple PCs that will show you how to install Windows 10, upgrade, and that will basically be the same as upgrading to Windows 11. And you can implement any of this stuff that I'm implementing with that in mind. So now that I can eject the install media, I'm going to copy the installs directory. And I update this directory a couple times a year. And I just put that directory on the C drive. And that'll allow me to, at any point in time, go back and reinstall something, especially if a client gets a virus or something gets messed up. So we're going to eject that. Now, one of my biggest things, I don't hear it a lot, but one of the biggest things I still hear from time to time is that nobody likes the Windows 10. I mean, everybody's sort of learning to get around it, but everybody misses the XP and the Windows 7 start menu. We have a solution for that. I used to use a paid program. I think it was like, I don't know, $5, $4.99, StarDoc, something. It used to give you a start menu. OpenShell actually has a free version, and it's very nice. Works great. So I actually use that. So you'll see me install that. But before that, I'm going to change a couple settings. Well, actually, we'll install OpenShell. All right, and I actually only install OpenShell Update and OpenShell Menu. The other two I disable or make them unavailable. Click Next. Install. They can be downloaded right from OpenShell. I Google it and I go to the, I think it's .org. I'm not sure. It's a, but it's a great program. But that's it. It's installed. And the next time you click over here, it's going to bring this up. The only thing I change is Control Panel comes up as a menu. So I change it to a link so that it comes up just like it did in the past. So now when I click on, so you have your documents, pictures, music. So when you go to Control Panel now, it actually brings up Control Panel the way that you're used to. I'm going to reboot here shortly. There's a handful of things that I'm going to do prior to that. So I'm going to go into System Properties. I do turn off System Protection. All my clients' computers and stuff are backed up. And if something happens, I would prefer to restore it than manipulate the system by changing dates and files. Which in the long run creates problems. Go under Advanced, Startup and Recovery. I actually uncheck Automatic Restart. If your machine is crashing and you leave it on all the time, client, you don't know that it's rebooting or blue screening because it's rebooting automatically. So I uncheck that so that if a client comes in the morning and the machine's at a stop screen, they can reboot, but then they can notify me, and we can keep track of that. It could be anything. The machine hasn't been rebooted in 20-some days, and something happened, the power hiccuped. There's a number of things that'll cause that to happen. But it's better to know that it's happening, and then I enable RDP even though I won't be setting it up. All my clients also have VPN, so once they VPN into the location, then they can RDP to their box. But I don't enable RDP from outside. And just internal. Okay, so I changed those. I'm also going to close this, and I want to restart. Actually, yeah, let me restart. Because it was actually updating devices and stuff like that when I first connected to Ethernet. So when that comes back up, we'll be back to where we can actually start doing updates. Chris, I changed the batteries in your blue controller. Kept turning off. I guess it didn't say anything on the screen, but so is that Brian?
Yeah, I do notice it.
I'm used to his icon. I don't know what it is, but I can see.
Because he has the classic shell on his other laptop.
Classic Shell is OpenShell is the newer version. Classic Shell was taken over by OpenShell, so it's just a newer version. I started with Classic Shell. And that's why I said my updates, the last batch that I just copied over from November, I'll probably create a March 2022 installs directory, and I'll get all the newer versions of everything. Okay, so we're going to knock some updates out. Oh, hold on, there's before I do that, control panel. I only have one client. Oh, that's not what I wanted. I only have one client that actually uses OneDrive. Again, most of my clients all have internal backup solutions and off-site backup solutions, and if they need cloud storage, they usually use their own. That's not public. Helps out a lot. So that's there. Then I actually go into SPC, users, admin user, and I delete the OneDrive directory that the icon has already changed. Now we'll go in the settings, and we're going to do updates. We do not want to install Windows 10, so we uncheck that. And all my clients know that we're not upgrading to Windows 11 for a while, so that's disabled on all of them. So where are we at now? 4. Oh man, Brian, you have to tell people that that are out there about my site, about my YouTube channel and my content. I can't be the only nerdy one that likes computers. No Catherine tonight? Well, again, she's probably waiting until 11 o'clock. Or 9 o'clock. I don't know why I just said 11. It's been a long weekend. And Christian's all quiet. Christian got a haircut.
Yeah, I've seen how I walked by. And...
Well, I think they saw it. Yeah, we did one of the other videos. I pointed that out, I think, because you got it cut on Monday. It's already growing back.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay, so we have one more cumulative update, and then we'll restart. So we'll create some media tomorrow with Windows Media Creation Tool. I'm probably going to do a Windows 11 install and show how I try to match it to what we're doing. There is a solution to get past creating a Microsoft account. I'm installing an OS for a client. I don't know what username and whether they want a Microsoft account. So I like the availability to bypass that and just use a local profile. So there is a bug that allows you to still do that until they actually fix it. That'll allow you to install without a Microsoft account. But there's still a lot of commercial accounts that still use servers, and they want local accounts, not Microsoft accounts. So we'll probably do one of those this week. But I have a couple more machines to set up and get installed this week. So there's those. No, what tonight?
Cat. She said cat. Like Catherine.
Oh. But doesn't she? Okay.
What?
No, isn't Catherine K?
No, it's with a K.
Yeah, did Mom put it with a cat?
Mm-hmm.
With a K? Oh, I can't see it from over here.
Blind.
Thank you. Actually, just because the screen is really... Can you read this screen from over there?
Windows update. Restart
Okay.
required.
Read this one right here. Not yeah.
Which one?
The one is in front of him. He's trying to read
one? No, which line are you talking about?
the system update.
I can see 2022. I can see that.
Yeah, I mean, I can see.
And I can see 74% installing. I can see stats.
But with all the lighting, the way it is in here, we have
I'm shaking that.
we have the ring light. We have, for anybody who's not or is new, we have several lights. There's a ring light, a whole bunch of lights that are all set to the same setting. Again, we're learning as we go. At some point, I want to purchase more. Are you hungry?
No.
So, you know, these go much faster when I'm not recording or actually live streaming.
It's been half an hour.
It's been half an hour already?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay. Well, and we're at 5. So welcome number 5. I appreciate everyone that jumps on. This is that process that I wasn't prepared for what to say and what to talk about. I'm trying to think what else we had planned. We do have everything now for the Atari 2600. We still don't have the controllers for the Nintendo 64. But I want to do those sooner than later. When we do the Mario Party, I'm thinking of setting up the green screen again, so we can do something with that. Maybe everybody's sitting on the couch, and we'll green screen them into the to the actual game. So pending restart on all of them. So we'll restart. Chris, hand me that memory right there. Nope. Yes. So there's the one module that's failed. It's upside down. Silicon Power. I probably sold 70 or so of their 2.5-inch solid state hard drives with one failure. This is the second memory pack that I bought, and one of these was DOA. And I thought the memory was actually good and wound up pulling coolers and swapping CPUs to verify that it was a motherboard. And I actually said, you know what, let me put that memory in another machine, and found out that it was actually one module. And if you flip the way they're hooked up in the slots they're in backwards, the machine did power up. So I think that it's not fully bad, but it's got a bad spot in it that if this is the main module or the primary, it won't boot. If it's the secondary, it sees it, but we have issues. So
If you're not using a deuce and a half, join EMS.
who?
Down in Fire Department Chronicles.
Oh.
You said 2.5, and he said if you're not using a deuce and a half, then go join EMS.
Nice. Okay, so we're gonna go grab the next batch of updates. Go under settings,
2.5 is enough.
updates and security, and we'll just grab there. There's probably no more under this. Oh, there may be.
2.5 is heavy.
Yes, there too. It's for Microsoft Defender. So by default, the machines leave with Windows Defender antivirus and the free version of Malwarebytes. And then we upgrade to whatever that client uses on location. But they do leave with software installed on them. We're going to download and install the cumulative update for 21H1. So that is KB 5010.415. By default also, I'm not a big user of Chrome. I do use it, but I cripple it. I don't like that they monitor and track everything I do. It follows me on my phone. It follows me. I do like Firefox, but by default, Firefox is the default browser that I set up. Chrome is installed, but it's not an icon on the desktop. If my client wishes to use it, they can, it's their machine. They can create a shortcut on the desktop for that. But I do not set that up. The second thing we're going to do here when the updates are done is indexing does nothing for solid state hard drives. So I will turn off indexing that was initially set up for faster access of files for mechanical hard drives. So that's the next step that we'll do. And then we're going to change the screensaver, and then we'll install a handful of programs, and this machine will be ready for delivery. We're still at 5, or is that 6?
5.
Has it bounced up or down any?
It went down back to 4.
Oh, man. Somebody left. Oh, Brian's texted something else.
He said I'd rather use Firefox.
Yeah, I feel the same way. But there are some people that no matter what, that's what they want. And I'm not going to stop them from using what they want. But I do recommend, most of my clients are not using it. Google Chrome seems to be, brings up a lot of pop-ups for the clients that I do have pop-up issues. And again, it's usually once you've been to one, it turns it on, and you got to go in and turn off sites, and it's a mess. It's the only browser that you have to work to keep up with it. So we're going to do a video also on the tools that I use as a computer repair tech. And I am part of Team Red, Milwaukee. This is my handheld cordless screwdriver.
Says it's Team Milwaukee, but it's got a DeWalt bit on the end of it.
Yeah, luckily you're talking over there. They don't pick you up. It's actually not a bit. It's the magnetic holder for, and it's what I need it for the nut driver, for the standoffs, for the cases for the motherboard. And it also has...
Wait, why did you say I'm lucky they couldn't hear me? I didn't say nothing. I didn't say nothing bad.
No, you were picking on me for using DeWalt.
Yeah,
Yeah,
like Team Red, but then you got DeWalt on it. Make it make sense.
Team Red with... and I usually set this on a 6, screws it in just enough, and then
And this is standard.
it automatically stops at that torque setting. And this tool works really well.
Don't let him fool you. He has a DeWalt drill downstairs.
See, once it hits the torque setting, it stops. And there's a dual speed. So I have this. I have
A Stanley razor blade.
Stanley razor blade. And I'll go through a lot of, but I have an angle grinder, a Milwaukee cordless angle grinder, a Milwaukee screw drill, a Milwaukee, actually I got a coupon. I forget exactly where I got it through one of the vendors I buy from. Oh, we're going to restart now. A Milwaukee radio, which actually I can use it to charge my phone, and the battery lasts like 10 days. I did purchase a larger battery for it, and when I'm doing warehouse work, I can listen to local radio, so I don't go stir crazy when I'm the only person in the building. I have the tire inflator. That has nothing to do with computers, but I do have the tire inflator and a handful of others. Oh, my Milwaukee M18 vacuum for cleaning up after myself.
But this
When
is
I'm
a Spectre screwdriver.
that comes with the monitors. I have and this Chris is referring to the Spectre screwdriver. Again, comes with every monitor to screw in the 2 screws. So I have like 50 of these. And then as this came with the Seth Mugent and this is great for even the Cooler Master to get around the heatsink down to the motherboard. Let me go in and check for more updates, and then I'll continue on. And I believe there's an updated driver. I do like now, I'm not sure at what point in time that Microsoft actually did that, but the other day I was working on an older Dell, not the one that I did the video, and there actually was a firmware, and it actually did the had the firmware update in here. It also, I was doing some Intel NUCs, and it updated the firmware on them. So if your computer has one of those downloaded driver updater, uninstall it. You don't need any of them that come with. That used to be the big thing that I hated about like the free versions of AVG and stuff like that. You keeping track of Brian over there since he's the only one talking to us? Okay. Brian, I don't know if any of this is helpful to you, but this is probably stuff you've already done yourself and seen, but there's a lot of people out there that have not. And there's a whole bunch of people that actually have videos of doing this. But we try to educate. There we go. It just installed the video driver. We're going to restart. And we'll come back in one last time and we'll actually check for drivers. And I believe they'll all be installed and we can continue on. So yeah, we'll do, we'll show everybody. And I have LED lighting. Yes? Thank you. My Amazon package is at the door. Chris, would you go grab the Amazon package at the door?
I mean, I can.
Appreciate.
Do I want to? That's the question.
So we're going to go in.
I don't get paid enough to grab packages.
You don't get paid at all from me.
Wait, I'm not getting paid.
You get to use the equipment.
Oh, I'm working for free. Oh, no, it's cursed.
Okay, machine is completely up to date.
God, it's too.
So I'm going to do one more thing that'll allow us to talk a little bit while we're waiting. Because I was able to get same day delivery. It's up till 10 p.m. He's asking why are they delivering at 9 p.m.
Do you want it now?
Yes, please. All right, so we're going to go in. We're going to uncheck.
I mean, you don't want to show them the front. But...
It's not like everybody on the chat or the YouTube stream doesn't know where I live.
Yeah, but the people don't. Well, not all of them.
Exactly. All right, so we're going to uncheck allow files in the drive contents to be indexed. So we're uncheck. We'll do an apply. And then we're going to apply changes to C and subfolders and files. And then we're going to continue, and we're going to ignore all. And that's going to go for a little bit. So we'll open this package that we just got in the mail. I believe I ordered this around 3 o'clock. And I was not, I'm glad that it was just memory. But I was actually surprised that it was available for same day delivery. So I will be doing that when this machine is done, and then boxing everything up for delivery tomorrow. All right, so again, feel free to Google if solid state drives need indexing, and it will explain to you that indexing was created for mechanical media to increase speed and proficiency, and it's no longer needed for SSD. It actually has no impact, so turning it off is one less thing Windows has to keep track of. Okay, I need to move some equipment. My dog is... Come on, Bill. All right. All right, sorry. The dog wanted to move, so I got distracted. So we're going to let this run. This runs for about 5 minutes, maybe a little less. And I try to do this before I install a bunch of programs, because the more stuff you have to unindex, the you have to change properties on the files, the longer it takes. So at some point, the other thing that we've been working on is the ring lights. The lighting use a Sony type battery, and I believe I was talking about that the other day. And we have, this is the small version, and we have the longer version. I can't snap it out of the light, it'll go out. And when I originally purchased them, and I've only charged them a handful of times, and I've cycled them a few times, and they're getting better. But that's probably going to shut off before the end of this live stream. And we don't really need it. I wanted it for being able to view inside of this case. So you can go through here. The dog had to get down, and the lighting had to be moved, and it's a tripping hazard. And now she's just going to stare at the door. So we're doing the indexing, and that indexing is for both NVMe, any type of SSD, solid state drives. Where's my phone?
It's not your phone. It's gone off.
No, I know. It's just, I don't keep my ringer on, or my... I was just looking to make sure nobody messaged me to say, hey, I can't hear you, or hey, you have something stuck in your tooth. Go ahead, Bailey. Go lay down. Chris, just watch that light, because it's leaning over when she does.
Come on, Luffy. No. No, get up there. Get. Come on. Bella, come on.
I don't know what she's doing.
I don't either.
So my dog is...
What are you doing?
Bailey, come on, up on the couch.
Up on the couch, Bella. Come on. You get it? You're old and...
She's 13 years old.
Oh, wow, you don't know your dog's age. She's 11 going on 12.
Oh, why has everybody been Maddie been telling me she's like 12?
Wow, Maddie, man, that's why she's my dog, because I actually know.
All right, Bailey, get up on the couch.
Get up there. No, she's not.
Actually, Mom has the folder. We'll look.
We're 8 years apart, and I turned 20 this year. She turns 12.
Okay.
I got her when I was 8.
And what month did we get her?
A couple months after.
Your birthday?
She was only a couple months old.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, I'm smart.
Well, we have paperwork.
What are you doing?
Come on, Bailey.
I'm gonna spray you with a deuce and a half. You might like it.
She'll be soggy. Come on, up on the couch. Lay down like the other puppy.
Oh, she's kind of barely spawn. It's barely spawn.
All right. Sorry, we're having dog issues.
No, she's not going anywhere right now.
She's trying to be the center of attention. She wants her own YouTube channel.
No, she's like, there's too much stuff down here. I want to be left alone because I'm old and I need sleep and I can't walk.
You just said she wasn't old.
She is old. 11 is old for a lad. And they only live between like 10 and 16, and if they're lucky. Labs get bad like legs and everything when they go.
Is that 5 or 6?
5.
All right. So I'm not sure. Well, we'll know at 9 o'clock, because we're still going to be finishing up this part of the install files.
You need a bath.
We'll see if
I might have to wash my hands.
Go wash your hands. Get her on the couch. Come on, up on the couch, girl.
Up, leaving up for the third time, but this time because it's not enough. Get up here. No. No. No.
He's telling her to get on the couch, and she's putting her paw up on the couch, telling him to get on the couch.
Come on. Come on.
All right.
No, why would you
All right,
say
then
that?
go outside. Go outside.
Go.
Have Maddie take them outside.
Oh, Jesus.
She's tripping over the lighting. All right.
Usually it's Abby making all the problems. This time it's her.
All right. I'm running solo as Chris trips over lighting.
Go.
If you send something in the chat, I can't say it.
Upstairs. No, it's still the same thing as earlier.
I mean, I can see that somebody put something in the chat, but so we're gonna see. Actually, I'm gonna go in and check my phone while this is going. I did update the Facebook post and see if anybody actually left any comments. And there are some. Okay. Nothing. Oh, time correction. So there are a handful of people. Kevin. You'll know who I'm talking about if you see this. It was nice to see you last night. I did not get to say goodbye to you, but I see that you're liking my posts. So hopefully you're actually jumping on and you actually subscribe. That would be nice. So thank you. And again, great to see you last night. All right, that's it. There's nothing. Nobody making fun of me for missing the time mistake. All right, so once that's finished, we're going to change the machine name and the computer description. And basically, the computer description is just that. If it was a Dell XPS Studio 8100, that's what the description would be, so that you know what box you're on. So all three of these will all have the same description. But it's not a big deal, but that allows me, when you remote it in, to actually know that you're on the right machine. Especially if you have locations that some of my clients will swap out a machine and change the workstation name and then ask me why they have duplicate machine names. What's that, Chris?
No, I think it's fine. Is this thing wrong? No, it's not, but we're not getting a call anyway, so it doesn't matter.
I don't know. It's probably one of your dogs.
We don't get calls at this time of night. It's either stupid early in the morning or it's early in the afternoon.
All right, so now we're still at 5. Good. At 5 and holding. So we're going to hit 9 o'clock in another
5 minutes.
Yeah, 5 minutes. So hopefully this is done. We could theoretically do multiple things, but this is actually doing a lot of... Actually, we can actually check out some of the performance. Actually, we're not even doing a lot of disk activity, so we could, but we're using 2.3 out of 16 gig, 12% of CPU, and yeah, we're using nothing on this machine right now. Well, 12% utilization altogether, but not a bad machine. Nice. It's referred to as a, by some people as an 8-year build. But I go in offices that have machines that are 8, 9, and 10 years old that are still in production environment. Some even older. Some XP machines that aren't connected to the internet, but they run automotive diagnostic tools, engraving machines. There's still a lot of use for some of those old machines. I'm sure there's a lot more of them running in places of even higher importance that we're not aware of. So, I do know in the past, where I remember hearing a story about NASA, like for satellites and stuff that goes out in outer space. Some of the technology that's used is older because of the environment that it's out there. It gets beat up on, and some of the older equipment, I'm not sure how true that is. Some of the older equipment actually can withstand the harsh abuse more than some of the newer technology, but not really sure. That's sort of hearsay. If anybody knows anything about that, leave it in the comment. Be great to know that. But there are people out there that still want old equipment. However, I stopped holding on to anything that's older than DDR3. I don't have any, and anything under 2 gig. I don't even keep 1 gig RAM mods. It's not worth it. It's not, if you have a machine that needs it, I'll find it, but it sits in a box, gets moved around and shuffled. I can't even guarantee it's going to work. So when I put that older memory in an environment, it's better just to replace modules with new. With memory as cheap as it is, or can be, it's why. And why have all that extra real estate and use for storing all that stuff? I don't store video cards anymore. We lost a person.
Yeah, I'm going to have to text Cousin Tony to find him.
Cousin Tony? Mm-hmm. Which Cousin Tony? How'd you know there was a Cousin Tony?
It's a Mafia reference.
Oh. Okay. That's above my head.
Brian said 747 still use floppy disks.
Okay. I do have a floppy drive, but my floppy drives are USB. The same with this. This system does not. None of the systems I build have DVD drives.
Man, I remember when computers had that.
However, if my clients have 4 PCs, they usually have a USB DVD writer. And so you will see me put DVD writing software on the machine, but it's strictly, everything's downloadable. But if you have a DVD drive and you need a DVD and you need to install media from it, maybe for an accounting package, who knows? Because there are still DVDs that are out. You use one DVD for one DVD drive for all 4 or all 8 again, and then they put it in a closet. The DVD drive, the drive sits so long the belt dry rots, and then they don't open anyway. So it's not worth to install them. So this is going to be finished here momentarily. Like I said, normally I start it and walk away. That's the other thing. Anybody watching this that might be a client and wonder, why I don't do this on site when I reimage machines. It's exactly this. Oh, look, and it finished as I was talking about it. If your machine is a quad core and maybe it's an 8th gen, it's not as new as this machine. It's not a gen. It'll be fast, but some of this stuff can take 3 or 4 hours as opposed to 1. When we're all done, it'll probably be around.
In simpler terms, if it's old and slow, it's going to take forever.
Exactly. So this video is good for anybody that wants to know why it takes so long to upgrade their machine. And this machine's going a lot faster than the refurbished machine went, and that's an older quad core machine. So, okay, the next thing we want to do is I have a piece of paper in front of me. I'm going to activate Windows. And Chris is going to turn off that screen and go full screen to me. Hold on, before you do that, I want to show him where it's at. So we're going to Control Panel. We're going to go into System. And this is where you purchase a key, which I did. You install. You can also use a key from your machine that you throw in the trash. But we're going to change the product key. And you're going to see it's Windows 10 Pro and then it's not activated. And we're going to change the key. And I'm going to type the key in and click Next. And then I think I'm going to click Activate because I don't want you to see the key. Sorry. Where Chris can drag me over the Activate key. Yeah, you can do that, Chris. Minimize me and then drag me over top of the white key box. Up, 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 up. A little smaller. Make me a little smaller. You can just drag that bar up. Okay, now drag me over the white bar. Nope, up a little bit. There you go, down. Right there. Okay. Put my specs on. And normally, when I'm typing this in, I read it out loud. Alright, so I will click on Next. Alright, you can move my head back up to the corner. You can make me a little smaller there. Yep, there we go. Okay, so after you do Next, you're going to go click Activate. And that's it. Windows is activated. We'll close it. Document what keys you used when, especially if you buy them 5 or 10 at a time. All right, so that is in. And you will see that activation Windows is activated with a digital license. So we don't have to deal with that anymore. Oops, I did want to stay where I was at. What do we got back here? We can close that. And then I'm going to go into System. Rename this PC Advanced. And I'm going to change the name, and this is going to be Work. Oh, hold on. Chris, anybody join? Since we're back at 5. Okay. Okay, so workstation is Station 1-PC. And we're going to say okay, we don't want to reboot. And this is where we'll set the description. Okay, so we set the computer description, we apply, and we'll restart. And when that comes back, we'll just verify that the activation went through. We'll check a couple other settings, and then we'll do an install, then we'll do a disk cleanup, and we'll go from there. And then this machine will be ready to be boxed for delivery tomorrow. And we're back to 4. Okay. Back. Abby, go over there. Chris, get Abby down there, because
Abby. Come here, Abby. Abby. Or, yeah, be stubborn. Bailey, you want to go up there? Go. Get up. Get you.
Bailey on the couch.
Get up. Come on. Power through it. Power the wall.
All right, she's up. Sorry. All right. The pet issue should be under control for now.
If she ever sits down.
Okay, what did I say I still had to do? I set all the stuff. I turned off indexing. Change screensaver. Okay. I like bubbles, so by default I set bubbles. They usually get changed, but I like to be like when your ISO set, everything that comes out of my office is the same. Ish. When it leaves. Once it gets installed, all those changes go out the window. So turn the computer off after the display off after 30 minutes. Put the computer to sleep. Never. Change advanced settings so we can cancel, close that, and we can actually close that. Now I do this for everything, whether it's a mechanical hard drive or a SSD. I never turn off the hard drives. Sleep after, never. Allow hybrid sleep on. Hibernate after, never. And then allow wake timers. And then we click apply, and now that is done. We can actually come over here, and we can close all these. Bailey. All right, we can do all those settings. Again, this is where you can actually, we rebooted. I just want to make sure that Windows is still activated. And that's right here again. And it's activated with a digital license. So that's not going to be an issue anymore. All right. Programs and features. That's all that we installed. Oh, the only other thing I do, there's still a handful of products out there that require, not really require, but it's convenient as an IT person. And maybe it's just me that I'm stuck in that rut, but I actually, because it's still on the machine, I do set up Internet Explorer. It's not an icon they have to search for it. I mean, as everybody is, it's on the machine still. But it's going to tell you to install Edge, and you already have it. And I'm going to tell it to close all tabs. And then I open it 3 times just so that if somebody did open something that was still pointing to a link, okay, and now it opens up normal, but nobody's ever going to use it. I open up Windows Media Player, recommended settings. Ran into a scenario not too long ago that an old flying video would only open in Windows Media Player. So it's still nice to have it. All right, so that stuff's out of the way. So now we can install some programs. This PC installs. So the first thing I'm going to install is Firefox. Yes. Any more? Oh, we got. Who's that? Oh. Oh, we got our first. Did you block him? Mm-hmm. We got our first scammer today. So I just closed that. It's installed. We'll open it again. I'm going to make that the primary browser. That is done. Then I'm going to install. Excuse me. Google Chrome. Again. Bailey, stop licking. She's mad at me now.
I was about to say, she just gave you the tood.
Just got the... Okay, so...
She's 11 and thinks she can do whatever she wants now.
I know, right? Okay. So that opens, and we want to close that.
Down to 3.
I'm down to 3. Come on, where's everybody going, guys? We block a scammer, and then you disappear. We're almost done. Hang in there a couple more minutes for me. Please. All right, so the next thing we're going to install...
Dead.
Nice.
I want to get him to say hi. Hello.
All right.
What's up?
I'm going to pin this to the taskbar. And I usually tell clients that I put them in the order that I prefer them to use them. And then I actually delete the desktop shortcut. And then usually when I install Word, I put Word and Excel and Outlook. But, you know, again, we'll leave it up to this. I can empty the recycle bin. Again, they can still open it from here on the sys tray or from underneath Google Chrome right there. So the next thing I want to install, and that is Malwarebytes. And we're going to install just the default. This program has gotten my butt, and again, I've always used the free, but this program has gotten my butt out of the sling so many times for really bad viruses and some really simple viruses. Great for scanning USB drives. Even though most clients, I actually turn them off. They don't want anybody plugging in storage devices. So again, which creates a problem when they want to plug in the DVD drive. But yes, I do turn them off. And we're going to go in. The first thing I do is I go to account and I deactivate the trial that they're going to call me and tell me that it's asking me if I want to pay, and if you want to pay for the subscription, and we offer that. Like I said, each client, and I deactivate it for everyone, and even the clients that pay for it, when we go on location and use their keys, we'll do it. But I don't want anything popping up that I don't need. So, and then we usually just do a quick scan, and while that's going, I go under Malwarebytes and I uncheck Start with Windows. I'm a big proponent. I don't like stuff starting that doesn't need to be starting. It's like your cell phone. It's got 15 different things that pop up all the time. And again, it's going to be clean because we didn't install anything. So we can go ahead and close that. And then the next thing, most people need Adobe, something that, open PDFs with. So we do Adobe Reader. And it'll download here real quick. We'll run it, and then it'll actually delete it, so it cleans up after us. We're at 4. Thank you, whoever stayed.
Said hello.
Hey, Nate. You ready to play Atari 2600? We can probably do that sooner than we can do the Nintendo 64, since we have to go to storage for that. All right, then we can open this and close that. We're almost there. There's only a handful of things left. Then we're going to do a disk cleanup, and then we are going to do a trim, which is under optimize, which you really don't need to do, but I set it to. I set that up, and we'll go from there. If any of you know anybody that might like to watch these videos, or anybody that you know watches YouTube that may want to subscribe to help me get to my goal of 1,000, that'd be great. I thought I heard the front door. So we're moving along.
Oh,
That's not recording. Chris moved the Canon camera. I like that camera, but it's just big. The face cam is.
If I just turn the computer off with my knee.
Yeah, that wouldn't be good. Well, we only have 3. Where's everybody going? I need to start, I don't know, coming up with some kind of challenges. I don't know. Think of something you'd want me to try if I had 1,000 subscribers. Make these videos a little bit. This one's a little bit drawn out, again, because I'm going through the entire process. And luckily, this isn't like a quad-core 2 gigahertz machine. They're slow. You're probably looking at 3 hours for this whole, what I did here. And I wouldn't put you through that. I would probably record it, edit it, and then go from there. So now this is going to pop up, and we're going to say yes, because by default, as you'll see here, change, it wants to open PDFs in Microsoft Edge. I love Microsoft likes to control everything. They're good at some stuff, but not at others. So click OK, click Apply, click OK, and this goes away. If you click OK again, it just goes away. We can close that, and we can close that. Then what's left is I use Burnaware free, and this is why I tell everyone when you're installing, this is the DVD, actually CD, DVD, and Blu-ray burning software. And for the free package, it does, I can use it for everything I need. I can burn ISOs, it works great. And it's convenient and it's free. However, this is what I tell everybody. Read when you're installing it. So welcome to Burnaware free. Next, you're going to accept their terms and conditions. They do try to give you WinX DVD Ripper Platinum, and we're going to say decline, and it goes right past it. They do not install any extra stuff unless you tell them they can, but most people click next, 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 and before you know it, you have 3 other programs installed that you didn't actually want. But so we can close that. It's going to tell you there's an update. We're going to say no because unless they need the update. And then when it's opened, as you can see, you can do data, audio, burn ISO, erase disk, boot disk, MP3 disk, copy to ISO, disk info, verify disk, make ISO, DVD video, span disk, copy disk. There's not much you can't do. You know, and you can do multi-burn. Half of them I've never tried. But again, I uncheck, check for updates. Again, the version from 3 years ago does everything this one does. So again, if you're using the DVD drive once a year, if that, and that's just for burning. So most clients probably never even use it. So I'll update it when I remote in once every 6 months as part of the things that I do when I work on them. All right, then the next thing I install is Qt PDF, and this allows you to create some PDF stuff. It doesn't step all over the feet of Adobe Reader, and when I'm actually printing to PDF, this Qt Writer it works out, and I haven't had any problems with both programs commingling together. So we're gonna go next, install, and then you're gonna say yes for the PostScript to PDF, and it'll close a little DOS window open and close it, it's done. Nothing else needed for that. The other thing that I do here is I quit Malwarebytes. All right, so it only runs when you want it to run. And if you get one of those pop-ups that says, "Hey, your computer's been locked," don't fall for the ads. But if you're not sure, when you reboot your machine and you come back up, you can actually run a full scan or a quick scan. If it's not in memory and it's not in the registry, you weren't affected by anything. There are other stuff out there, but whatever virus software you should have should also fix that. So you really don't want multiple programs running at the same time. But Malwarebytes has been great, like I said. And then the last thing I do is Belarc Advisor. And this is an audit tool. Remember, yes. Remember, yes. And they don't have to run this. This will give you serial numbers and stuff like that of hardware and versions of, and it'll tell you the last time somebody plugged in a USB drive, even though they told you they didn't. And I'll show you that here real quick. And again, there's nothing on this that identifies this machine as anything. There's no license keys that you'll see. It's one of those things that's just to give you an overview. I do skip the network settings when I run this in the office. I will, and as you can see, benchmark, everything's green, and it tells you the firmware version, the motherboard, the CPU, the DIMMs, how they're populated, serial numbers. So if somebody tells me my machine keeps getting a memory error and I says, run this, and I only see one memory module, sometimes they fail, the other one fails, and the machine will still boot. So I can tell what's in the machine a lot of the times, where I can compare that. The drives, it has the T-Force hard drive, which is the 512 gig hard drive. And then it has accounts, and your network would be in here, a map. It'll show you all, if you have 200 devices like I do, it will show you 200 devices. And if you want a customer to bring this up, now I run this twice because it changes settings the next time you do it. So you don't have to say yes to anything, it just runs the next time the client runs it for you. But I will show you how to actually pull up this. So we're going to skip this step. And what we need is going to be, so again, this is everything. Go all the way down to the bottom. There's all the updates that have been applied to this version. So if you run this on your machine and your Windows was, and it tells you the OS install date at the top on the 11th, on the left here, 227 at 8:10. So the client can go in and you can tell when it was upgraded. So when a customer says to you, I didn't upgrade it, you did. And this audit tool actually will tell you what you need to know. Chris, can you, I want to see something. Can you maximize my picture? All right, I just want to look at something. I apologize here. Okay. All right, you can put it back. What's that? Okay. Now, if you wanted to actually bring that last run Bellark Advisor. So say the customer says, I used to have a printer and it doesn't show up on my printer list. And that's part of your network. You can actually, say you want to see what the IP address was. Printer failed, you want to go and set it up. If you run a scan and the printer is not there, you wouldn't have it. So you would go under x86, Bellark Advisor, System, Temp, and then Workstation 1 PC, which will open up the last, the web. It actually generates a web page that you can actually run and open up. So that's that. And then the last thing I do before they leave the house or the office, my office is in the house, so we'll go out one more and we right click on C, go to properties, disk cleanup, clean up system files. Now I tell all my clients, if you put it in the trash can, it's trash, because when I do my maintenance, that trash bin gets emptied. So I pick everything for the disk cleanup. Not that we're anywhere out of disk space, but you see there's 5.48 gig of space that's used for stuff that we don't even care about. Chris, is that 6? All right, so either we picked up a couple extra viewers because of the time change, or just because we've been on long enough, we've gotten a couple people that are not familiar with the channel, and welcome. Again, today was just a setup of, at the beginning I showed the picture of the machine. There's 3 of them. And there's a previous video of us setting up the motherboard and the cooler and the memory and the SSD on the bench, actually on top of the box. And I had built all 3 machines since then, and I saved the original one that we started the first video with, and that's what we're finishing this video with. So these will all get installed tomorrow, and on site I will install Office 2021 Professional Plus on all 3 while on location. So that would have been part of this install. However, I'm going to, unfortunately, you have to register them under a Microsoft account, and the client does have one. So we'll do that on site, register the keys, and then download from their login account. And if something happens to a machine under warranty or not under warranty, and the machine has to be re-imaged, we'll be able to download it from their account, and I have nothing to do with that. I remove myself from that. So it used to be nice actually having the key and installing said key, but you got to do what you got to do, and Microsoft sort of wants you to do everything that way now. So the other thing we do is, traditionally you may actually have a client that still has mechanical drives. I actually changed this setting to daily. It's already there, and then you can optimize it. It just trims. So that's done. And we can do OK. And then the only other thing that we do is we reboot it once, just to make sure icons on the desktop all get saved with the profile, and everything comes up. And we will actually open Firefox and bring up YouTube and just make sure that it actually works. And it actually comes up on the streaming machine before it actually comes up on this monitor that's in front of me. live now. And we'll mute it. We are a little behind, as you can see. But that's that. And well, we're not signed in. There's a video on how to sign in, but we have 7 likes. So thank you everyone that has liked, but as you can see, we're seeing what we just did about 20 seconds ago. So we're going to close that, and we're going to come over here, and it's complaining about the virus and threat protection because of Malwarebytes, but as you can see, everything's in the green, which is why when you're downloading and installing programs and the program installs like security, like McAfee Security Scan and a bunch of those, free programs, your machine's worse off with 3 virus programs than it is with 1, even if that's a crappy virus program. So we make sure, and that's one of the other things I do as maintenance. I check to see what programs got installed with other stuff. A lot of clients can install programs without somebody in the office okaying it and putting in the admin password. So depending on the office, this machine may get configured as a standard user and not an admin user. But again, each location is slightly different. So if Chris can go to full screen for me, we'll hit a couple things. We actually made it to 7. The new month starts. Going to try to get a haircut. Going to try really hard this week to do that. Like I said, look forward to several streams. We're going to show you how to make media, and you can actually create it for just 64-bit. There is a 32-bit version. Not sure why you would want to use it other than if you had a 16-bit program that you needed to run, but that limits the amount of memory. So if you were to install a 32-bit version of Windows 7, 10, or 11, and you have 16 gig of RAM in your machine, you're only going to see 3 to 3.5 gig of RAM, depending on the machine. So if you're installing 32-bit, don't, unless there's a reason that you need to, and the piece of equipment that it's connected to requires 32-bit. Other than that, install the 64-bit version. And again, when you do it, it boots up. If it sees a key registered to the hardware, a digital key, it'll automatically install the version of Windows. And that's the way a lot of the machines that you buy new, like the Intel NUCs, when I installed them, the person who originally purchased them for that client, they came with Windows 10 Home. So every time I install them with Windows 10 Home, it installs Windows 10 Home. And in order to install Windows 10 Pro, you have to do the upgrade, and the upgrade fails. So then you have to reinstall it until it's a mess. It's a mess, but I may do a video on that sometime. So how to do this. I have some disks that need to be cloned, so expect some videos on Acronis. My Acronis is a 1.5 years old, so I'll show you how to create bootable media on a USB drive, and maybe show you how you can use memtest 86, and maybe before we send this back, we'll test it. If we can get a machine that'll actually boot this and still allow us to scan it without crashing. It did do it, but again, there's a video. Atari 2600, it's just for kids. Xbox isn't for granddads. Chris, is there any other ones that we've been talking about doing that I might, the Nintendo 64 Mario Kart party, live stream party, with 4 of us playing that online, and I may actually set the green screen back up. Maybe a video on the tools and actually a live stream with setup of the equipment that we're actually using. You've seen the desk, the bench is a mess, but how everything's tied in. The card that we installed on the media PC, the USB 3.1 4-port card, has now been controlling the camera, the mic, the Wave 3 microphone, the capture card for the Canon camera, and I'm sure you guys have seen this, but this is the actually I have it turned toward me so I can actually see what it's aimed at, and we have the 4 of these all plugged in to that capture card, and it's been rock solid. The ring light that's up there is still going on batteries. Again, we had some issues with the batteries. One of them over there says check on it because it wasn't charging, but now it seems to be playing well. I believe I'm getting about 2 hours. Chris, how many lights are on the back of the ring light? There's one flashing usually. Can you see? Oh, he's got to get up. I'm making him work.
It's fine. Chris and Evan are picking me up.
We're almost done.
So. No, they're picking me up afterwards. You have one.
Is it flashing or just?
Flashing.
Okay, there's one flashing. So we probably have about 5 or 10 minutes, or it can go off right now. So those are all the upcoming videos that I want to do. If there's a video you would like to see or like for me to do, even if it's small, if there's a piece of equipment that you're interested, I may have it. Like I started telling you guys all the tools I have. Oh, and we do have this gaming PC rig, and I have a laptop that I've been working on that that I have some content recorded for that I'm actually going to go live. So, if you're here for the first time, please subscribe. Click on the like icon or the thumbs up icon that you like it, and that'll let YouTube suggest that video to other people. And click on the bell if you want to be notified every time that I go live, and don't trust the time I put in Facebook. We actually made it to, what are we at now?
3.
Oh, I actually thought that was like an 8. All right, so we're down to 3, so I think that means that everybody's getting tired of listening to me rant, which seems to be the norm, the daily norm. No. But again, thank you, everyone. Subscribe. Come back. Give me a couple months. See where the content goes. See where the community goes. And we can all learn from each other and hang around. And what do we got down there? That's
Brian just gave a thumbs up.
Thank you, Brian. And as always, everyone have a good night. And
Carol said, "Mom and I say hi."
Oh,
Good info.
hello. Thank you. So.